New World Order, first part. Today's world is facing a new direction in its own existence that will undoubtedly, in a radical way, shake and change all patterns of behavior and daily life of human beings, with situations never seen or thought of before, but that are coming to stay. This new reality has already begun to be observed in the political and social spheres on a global scale. From the simplest daily manifestations such as eating, dressing, fashion, and all kinds of interpersonal relationships to the participation of countries in various power blocks, military and economic alliances. This new path taken by humanity has emerged from the United Nations agenda manifested on the basis of the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, which guided the work 2000 through 2015. That's why its member countries, starting with the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development 2012 in Rio de Janeiro, set themselves the task of initiating the process of defining the 2016 to 2030 agenda. In 2015, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development was born, which contains the Sustainable Development Goals with greater precision. Thus, we can point out that among the most important points of this 2020-2030 Agenda, there are several areas where we can highlight the following. Ending poverty and hunger in all its forms and manifestations, ensuring that all human beings can enjoy a prosperous and fulfilling life, promoting just and inclusive peaceful societies, implementing the agenda through a strong global partnership and protecting the planet against degradation. These aspects are seen as very legitimate for social progress and human welfare, but when they are known in detail, they have provoked criticism from some governments and political groups with center-right ideologies, because they consider that they violate and affect the internal affairs of their countries. The right to raise and educate children has also been discussed, which many consider to be the absolute and indisputable power of parents to choose all the conditions to carry out this work, and not with the interference and obligation of state participation. The reality is that there are many aspects that can be considered in this global strategy for a paradigm shift in the daily life of humanity, and that will lead to the creation of new international alliances in all kinds of activities, both economically and socially, as well as in the political. Faced with this globalist agenda, various opinions have emerged that consider it highly interventionist for the internal reality of some countries, and where specific aspects have attracted a lot of attention, such as the right to abortion and gender equality, which have been very controversial in many different areas where they have been discussed. On the other hand, United Nations has indicated that there is a serious environmental crisis in various regions of the planet that violate human rights, a situation that some governments have accepted without discussion, even proposing an increase in financial resources to deal with these situations of pollution to their ministries of environment. At present, new groups and alliances have already begun to manifest, highlighting the BRICS case in an extraordinary way. Regarding the creation of the BRICS as a group, there were several previous meetings until in 2008, Brazil, Russia, India, and China began to develop some common approaches to the economy and their possible application in their trade relations and subsequent implementation worldwide. During 2010, South Africa was incorporated, and in this way the BRICS emerged, catalogued as one of the most outstanding groups of emerging nations on the planet, with large geographic and demographic dimensions that today is becoming a category of first order, consolidated as an outstanding bloc for its levels of economic growth above developed countries that lead the world economy, thus achieving prominence in front of other international organizations. As a result of this, we have the recent creation of the Development Bank, which grants loans at lower interest rates, thus offsetting the economic power enjoyed by certain institutions that have had this power for years, such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, among others. The BRICS, with their broad vision of cooperation, solidarity and sustainable growth for all the countries of the world, have managed to establish themselves as a bloc of emerging economies with a share of decision-making power, thus contributing to the establishment of a new world order. Exploring amazing things based on true story.